Hi guys. It's me. Welcome. So I know there's a lot of you that are, you work sort of daytime hours, and so you're watching this on the delay. And so just grateful to be able to share this with you all when the time is right. And as always, please feel free to leave comments and questions in the feed underneath. And, you can always email me directly by just hitting reply to the emails that are coming into your inbox. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to introduce myself. So my name is Nikki Hardin, and hello. I'm a cleanse and nutrition coach here. I live in Santa Monica, California, and I'm also the formulator of 21 Cleanse. And 21 Cleanse is my therapeutic grade herbal formula that helps people get the toxins, the chemicals, the environmental pollutants out of their body and get on track with plant-based nutrition. Because you'd be so surprised just how easy it is to actually eat clean when you don't have the toxins and the chemicals and the pollutants in your body that are causing so much imbalance. So your body's in a continual state of repair. So a big part of my purpose in this lifetime really is to not only help people eat clean, but to also help them understand how they can safeguard and protect their health. And so, one of the most important things we could do consistently is detox our body. So the world is very polluted, and oh gosh, it's just that's next. That's coming next. We'll talk about that. But first, today we're gonna just stay really clear in terms of our clean eating goals that we've been working on. So today is all about tuning in, and we started yesterday by getting really, really clear in our why. And I went really deep into that in our video, so if you missed it, just pop over to the video and watch it, because really our why is what's going to help us move from the mental side of eating, should not, good, bad, to the actual emotional side. And I'll just tell you this, what we're all living right now is an emotion, an experience of our emotions, right? So people, hi Yvette, hi, good to see you. Thank you for coming again. I hope you're enjoying today's exercise. I know you said no to a caramel latte this morning. I'm very proud of you. There's some really good healthy alternatives you can choose besides that, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm just talking about just the importance of getting into your why, and just really, if you can anchor that in with a visual component, it's going to just really help you as you move through this thing we call life. And really just, it's so important because it can get you out of the mental chatter and into the emotional outcome, and really more into that where you are empowered rather than disempowered, because you're not looking at what's on the scale and all of that kind of good stuff. So today is all about really going even one step further, and that's actually tuning into how we feel as a result of what we eat. Because the food that we put in our body, it's not just about our waistline, right? Yeah, we want to fit into those skinny jeans. Yeah, we want to put on a pair of sexy heels and rock it and look and feel amazing. But the fact is that the true impact of how the food is infecting you is so much more than just your waistline and just the numbers on the scale, right? So it's going to affect from your thoughts to your feelings I feel like there's a difference between your feelings and your emotional state. So it's going to impact all of that. And it's also going to impact your moment to moment experience. And I'm going to really be diving into this on Friday. So you're going to want to make sure to tune in on Friday, because there is like a masterclass coming on Friday. And I'm going to help you understand how food is actually impacting you at the metabolic rate. And so that'll help you understand, I mean, just how food is, if you're dealing with things like insomnia, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with depression, stress, brain fog, this is all your metabolism, and this is all regulated by the amount of the proper nutrients that you get in your body, which means eating clean, real, whole food, not fake food, whole food, and then the amount of toxins that you have in your body. So we're going to dive into that Friday. I don't want to go too much, but I really am excited about helping you guys really kind of create awareness around the food that you're putting into your body and how that's impacting. First, it's like there's actually, I like to ask you to take it in almost a 3-step approach, right? So without changing anything, I know most of us here, we're like, wait, where's the food list? Where's the shopping list? Where's like what it is that I'm supposed to be doing? We're going to get to that. So, but today I want you to just understand what the choices you're making and what are the choices you're making and how they're actually impacting you in a ripple effect. So the first step is you put it into your body, and the second step is it has an immediate impact, right? So either it's going to give you fuel, make you feel alive, give you energy, or you put it in there and it's going to make you feel heavy and depressed and lethargic, and then your stomach starts hurting and you feel bloated, and then you can't really think about much because all you can really think about is how terribly your stomach feels. And it just steals your energy, right? So that's the first thing that you really want to tune into. Then the second step after that, which is actually the third step, the third step after that is like, okay, now that I am existing in this state of like brain fog, can't really think, don't have energy, feel like a slug, how is that then impacting my life, right? So when you get into your work environment, then you aren't very productive and you don't actually make positive momentum. Or maybe you go into a meeting and you're not really present and really sharp and on point in that meeting. Why? Because all you can think about is how terrible you feel and how you just kind of feel like a slug. And energy is everything. So I guarantee that whoever you're in a meeting with, they're picking up on that, right? So it's going to impact, your finances, right? Because if you're not performing, then, you can switch it the other way, right? I guess I'm an entrepreneur. So I don't, rely on a paycheck. I help people. And a big part of that is showing up in the best version of me. And when you show up in the best version of you, then everything around you has a positive impact, right? So again, going back to this, so say you eat a burger and fries at lunch because, everybody else is going to the burger joint and you don't want to miss out, and that's the best, so you just say, oh, whatever. And then you're like, oh, I don't ever eat that stuff. Or maybe you do, but it just doesn't sit well. And then the next thing you know, you don't feel good. You feel like a grace monkey and like crap. Then you're not productive. All you're doing is like waiting for the clock. You go home, and then your relationships start to suffer. First of all, your relationship with yourself starts to suffer because you're just sitting there beating yourself up. Most likely, that's what most people do. Very few people will eat a burger, feel like crap, eat a burger and fries, feel like crap, and not have negative thoughts about the choices that they make. If they do, well, then they're only being impacted by not being very productive. And then, that then goes into those negative feelings and how those things are affecting you are then going to be in how you're able to relate to others, right? So maybe you don't have the energy to play with your kids if you have children. Maybe you're not really able to be engaged with your friends when you go out to visit your friends. Or maybe you end up not even going out and being social because you're too tired, you don't have the energy, you don't feel good. So your life starts to suffer and your overall quality of life starts to degrade. And that's really like what I really want you guys to understand, because then when you can take a step back and see it without judgment, then you're like, oh my gosh, so this is how this is actually impacting my life. And there's nothing wrong with me. It's just that I put this into my body and my body's like trying to heal and it's trying to figure out how to deal with all of this, right? So it's just so important for you to just really bring into your consciousness, to start developing a body consciousness and an awareness of how food is impacting your body. And actually what's really exciting is I did an interview with Dallas. I talked about Dallas a little bit yesterday in the video, and I did an interview with her and I just finished editing it, and one of the things she said about that was so positive about her cleanse experience was the level of awareness she developed around food, healthy eating, chemicals, environmental toxins, these kinds of things, and how that also, she also developed a greater body awareness. So I'm gonna actually be going live with that. That's gonna go up on my personal Facebook page. So not in our private group, but on my personal Facebook page, and I'll link to that tomorrow. But you definitely wanna have a read about it, because Dallas talks about how she transformed I don't like to cook. Eating is like healthy eating and doing a cleanse. I don't have time for that. Into, oh my gosh, how do I love cooking now? I love nurturing and nourishing my friends and my family. And I have all this extra time. How does this happen? So all of that's on that video. It'll be going live. And so, but I want to share this story about a client that I worked with, and we're going to call her Sarah. And she came to me, she says, we went on, she actually took one of my sort of bigger kind of super platinum coaching programs, because she was dealing with anxiety, depression, she was super lethargic, she never had energy, she was just riding this vicious roller coaster. And this was it. She didn't understand, because she was the type of woman that she ran marathons, trained for marathons. She had a really incredible job. She had an awesome life partner. She was not married, but they lived together, and she had a beautiful daughter. And she's like, I just don't understand. I feel like crap. They're always trying to put me on meds. I do everything right. I'm exercising. I'm eating clean. And I said, okay, let's take a step back. And so we worked through some of the emotional stuff that was going on. The first thing we did is we got her on my cleanse program, because we needed to reset her system, right? When your body is reset and it's at a place of like balance and homeostasis, then you can really, from a very almost educated scientific perspective, understand what foods are and are not right for you. Because when the body is in a continual state of imbalance, it's always trying to repair. So a lot of things could be impacting you that really probably wouldn't, just because the body is already so out of balance. So she did the cleanse and she felt incredible. Like, just, I mean, look, she lost 15 pounds, had energy, didn't need naps, was positive, was no longer depressed, slept through the night, like all of the good stuff, right? So then in between our sessions, right, we were doing some work, and she started putting in making new choices, and I wasn't aware of these new choices because it was in between our time of when we were meeting. And all of a sudden she started feeling depressed again. And she was like, why is this? Why do I feel depressed again? This doesn't make sense. And so what happened then is that she then would go to work and she would have to literally leave work, go out to her car and take naps because she was so exhausted. So what we figured out when we kind of dove into the food that she was eating was that she had decided, she had basically brought yogurt back into her morning routine because we've all, there was a long period of time, and there's still a lot of people that think that yogurt is actually, as long as it's organic or low sugar, maybe that it's healthy. But those of us that have been, following the health of like real nutrition know and aren't into like marketing tactics with people, we know that really yogurt is not good. And so what happens is we just took the yogurt out, and all of a sudden she was way back, and she was right back. But because she had developed such a great awareness, a body awareness, she was able to tune into what it is she was eating and how that then impacted her day, right? So she's clean, she's positive, she's happy, she doesn't need her meds, she's like sleeping, to now she has yogurt once a day, and then she's depressed, she has to go out and take naps, she needs to sleep 12 hours a day, etc., right? Like doesn't want to play with her daughter, isn't really engaged. So boom, food mystery solved. So today, please, whatever you do, really keep a nice list. Just print out that list, keep it with you, and go through, and every single thing you put in your mouth, write it down. And then write down, bring awareness to how you're feeling like within the first 10 minutes, right? 10 to 20 minutes. Like, how are you feeling? And then how's that impacting the rest of like what you're doing in that moment? And then notice just a little bit more how that's impacting you on a little bit more of a long-term, time schedule, and just see over and over how this is really bringing, what this is really doing for you. So, one of the biggest things we can do is really bring consciousness into our daily choices. And what will happen is you will notice, and this is coming forward, but it's one of the beautiful things in the Cleanse program, but people really start to develop, as you continue to say yes to you and create new choices and stay aligned, then you really develop this sense of self-trust and self-confidence and self-worth, and you start to take really bold, confident action in your life, and it's really, really cool. So you're taking inventory, you're tuning into the choices that you are making. Awesome, you want to take it to the next level, write down the times of day that you're eating so you can start to bring awareness into that, right? Because here is gem. Not eating is also impacting you. Okay, so it's not just about what you are eating, but it's about not eating. Because a lot of people have stuff around, there's no time, right? I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to stop and eat. Or putting everything else in front of you is another thing. And going these long periods of time, because many can think that not eating is actually going to help them lose weight, but it is not. That's not what helps you lose weight. So that's another thing. So what we'll start to do is we'll start to stack our choices up against our why, up against our anchor feeling. And so when you start to stack those two, you'll look at, okay, is that choice that I am making in my life, is that actually serving what my real desired outcome is? And see if they match. And if it doesn't, then we're going to have an opportunity to make a shift. So let me see if there's anything else I wanted to touch on today. Yeah, presence is everything. So that's the work. Tune in, write it down. Gold Star, if you put the times, how it's impacting you immediately, and then how that's impacting you in your life and what is going forward. Then, we're going to be building upon all of these things in this coming week, and end it off with a really big webinar so you guys are really like concrete and set up for success. And I'm just so happy to be able to help you. So does anyone have any questions about how to do this or how to tune into this? If you aren't able to watch this and you're watching it on delay, please feel free to leave the comments in the video or send me a direct email, and I can always address it in one of our videos so everybody else gets it too. So all that said, day 2, you guys are rocking. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. Have a good one.